Hey guys, Fire here from InDepth Gaming, bringing you another game review. This time we're checking out Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? This game is developed by Massive Mini Team, published by Handy Games, and released on August 23rd, 2022 for a price of $29.99. Now, this isn't the first Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader game to hit the Xbox consoles. The first one came out on the 360, probably around a decade ago, and was honestly pretty fun and enjoyable. So let me kind of share my thoughts and tell you what I think about the newest and latest installment into this game's franchise. So the game is pretty simple. It features two different ways to play. You can do exam mode, which is basically playing by yourself, or you can do study mode, which is where you have a group of friends and you're kind of all playing against each other and progressing and working together. So it's pretty fun. As far as the main menu, let's just kind of talk about this, and then we'll dive into some of the gameplay. There's classmates that you can unlock, and basically the classmates are just basically kids who have different specialties and availabilities into what they know and how they can do. You can also unlock these special variant versions of them. If you look at their kind of when you're highlighting over them, you'll be able to tell if they have an outfit because there's a little like shirt icon that appears below them so you can kind of see what they have. But they're basically the kids who will help you as you go through all the 5 grades. You have your school desk where you can kind of just customize some stuff. You can go through here and using things that you unlock from how your desk is laid out. I like my little dinosaur guy, but you can get all kinds of weird wonky things and change how you kind of like it, or you can be completely random. You can have multiple different kind of save files. There's also a permanent record where you can view how you're doing. I'm not going to show you how bad I am, but it's a neat kind of way to see how you're doing. There are a couple achievements that are going to be a little grindy where you need to do over 100 questions and basically have a perfect record, so have fun going after that and, see if you really are smarter than a fifth grader. As far as options, there's some basically just accessibility and general options within the game. You can modify graphics, make things a little easier. I'm always a fan of games that have colorblind settings. And you can even restrict things down to just US-based questions, since this is kind of like a US-based show, but if you want to expand it, you can. And then as far as extras, there's, like I said, you can find the report card again here. Check on your achievements, view credits, and have some different quiz options. But now that you kind of know how the main menu works, let's dive into like the meat and potatoes of the game, and let's play a game and, hopefully not show you how bad I am at playing. When you are playing, the game does feature two different kind of hosts to the show that are kind of like teachers who are asking you questions. They're going to alternate throughout back and forth. I'm going to kind of tune their volume down a smidge just while I'm talking, but they'll kind of narrate the whole thing. You'll run through all your grades, eventually hit 6th grade to a final question, so you basically have to complete through 11 questions to beat the game, get the most points, and that's how you're going to kind of progressively unlock more and more stuff throughout the game. There's our achievements that are set up so you can like grind at the game and unlock more, and it kind of gives you an incentive to keep playing. While you answer your questions, you can kind of lean into your student if you want. You have 3 kind of lifelines. If you've ever seen the show Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, think of that, but for kids and making yourself feel a lot stupider than what you probably are. The host kind of narrates you through the game. I'd say for me, the first time playing through, it's kind of like, cool, let's see how neat it is. But this skip exclamation and skip everything button and just get straight to the questions is definitely a nice lifesaver, because for me personally, it just kind of gets really annoying and boring. I don't need to hear how Haley, Ava, Eli, and Isaac are doing and came into school every single time I want to play the game. But it is nice that they give you the option to skip it, but it's also nice that it's there, because especially if you're playing with, younger kids, this is a great game to sit down with your family and have a good time with and enjoy. What thing that I really do enjoy is you're not just hit with like specific questions right away in like some of the adult kind of versions of these shows, like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and stuff. But the Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader allows you to pick a category to see what you excel at. And what I do like is not every question is just pick an option, 1, 2, or 3, or 4. Sometimes there's interactive things such as picking a distance on a tape measure, or doing a math little equation. There's a lot of different things you can do, and it's kind of nice. And as far as like ease and accessibility, the game does a really good job at helping you know how to play, and it doesn't overcomplicate any unneeded controls. Now, if you do want to make the game a little easier for you, there's no time limit to your questions. So I can literally sit here, Google an answer, do whatever I need to. Ultimately, hopefully you shouldn't have to do this, but if you do and you happen to not be smarter than a fifth grader, you can at least make your life a little easier, or maybe you need to cheat on a question, because we all probably cheated in school at some point. that is definitely an option that's available to you. And then what the game does is in between the questions, you kind of get to learn a little more about the kids. And then when you go through different grades, the game's going to give you a new kid to help you through that grade. So you get a first grader, a second grader, a third grader, etc., and you kind of work through that. But it's definitely enjoyable. I have noticed a little bit with some of the questions, it might seem that some categories show up a little more often than others. So that can be a little frustrating, but it tends to be, maybe that's how school is nowadays. I haven't been in school, at least in these grades, in well over 20 years, so maybe that's just me. Let's use this question, for example, just to kind of show you how some of your sort of lifelines work. You can ask your classmate, what they think. Or you can do the cheat, which is basically just using your lifelines. So for this question, let's ask the class and just see what they think. It'll ask them what they're doing, and you know, it's like a nice little like lifeline system to do that the game does really well. Overall, though, I really enjoy how they've brought this game to the newer consoles. It's not over realistic. It's just more like the graphics and visuals are kind of just right, and I think they did a really good job at just presenting this game in a very, kid-friendly manner, but also it's not completely boring for adults to play either, especially since you can just skip through and bypass a lot of different things, so it makes things a little easier for you in that sense. And then, it just feels very fluid and very easy to dive into. I don't think this is a game that's going to be overly complicated for anyone, and it's a game that's going to be very easy to just dive into and be able to play. Overall, though, that's kind of the gist, in my opinions, of Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? I think the most fun you're going to have out of this game is probably party mode. I'd say if you don't have an opportunity to really play with friends and get others involved, or even have younger kids, this might be more of just a ooh, I play it once every in a blue moon kind of game. But what is here is something that I think is enjoyable. I think it's a great family game for the family to dive into with younger kids, and you can definitely enjoy this. I think the developers did a really good job at packaging this game together. Although it doesn't feel 100% like the actual show, it does give you a sense of a close connection to that, and it does feel fun to play and isn't like totally monotone and deaf and boring as can be. I do enjoy the game. So as far as giving an overall opinion of buy, sale, or pass, I'm going to kind of break this up a little bit. I definitely am going to recommend you buy this game if you have younger kids or opportunities to do like more family social gatherings. But if you're kind of by yourself and you don't have that opportunity to do party mode or have fun with this and treat it as a game like that, maybe wait for a sale, because $30 is a little bit of a steep game for a game that you might not be able to play with other people. The achievement list isn't overly complicated, it's just going to take time, so anybody can knock that out. But yeah, overall, that's my thoughts on Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? If you have any questions or want to know more, please let us know down below in the comments. If you made it this far into the review, the first person to join our Discord and send me a message letting me know what I thought of this game, I'll give a copy of the game to. So join our Discord, links down below, and you could enter in for a chance to, you might be able to be the first one to get a free copy of this game on Xbox. I hope you have a great rest of your day. We'll catch you next time.